These books, look at them. Oh my god, I don't actually know what to put. Oh my god, they're all falling on the floor. They're all falling on the floor. The Bookshop book, don't fall on the floor. I need you. I need you in my life. I need your bookishness. Hi everyone, I'm Reading with Jack and today I'm here with my Christmas book haul. I love Christmas and I love receiving books. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and received the books that you wanted as well. My to-be-read pile now is so big. It was really big before and now it's even bigger. I'm a bit scared about it and I did consider going on a book buying ban, but then again that's a form of torture for me, so I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I'm going to start by talking about two of the books that I got earlier this month, and I didn't get them for Christmas but I bought them myself, and I went to Oxford for my university interviews, which was quite a fun experience, although it was a little bit stressful. In Oxford they have a really famous bookshop called Blackwell's, and I have my bag here from Blackwell's, promoting Blackwell's for learning, for life. It was so beautiful. There were so many different kinds of books, so many different sections. It was basically like heaven, like paradise. The books there were just perfect and it was so hard to decide which ones to actually get. The first one I got from Blackwell's is one that I wanted to get because it's Christmas and I thought I'd read a festive themed book. It is Dickens at Christmas by Charles Dickens. This is a collection of some of his short stories and novellas related to Christmas time, including A Christmas Carol, which is one of his most famous ones and the one that I have actually read and loved. It was so good. Amazing characterization of Scrooge, so intriguing and mysterious. I love the change that he undergoes. Equally, the stuff with ghosts is fantastic. It really got me in the Christmas mood and I can't wait to read more of his Christmas books as well. The second one that I got is one that I saw immediately in the bookshop and I bought it on a whim. It is a Novel Bookstore by Laurence Cossé, who is a French author. I really love the fact that this is a book about books because I'm a bookish person and I need books about books in my life. I saw this cover, I saw it had books on, and I was like, yes, that's my book. Give that book to me, I need it in my life. And I decided to buy it even though it was quite expensive. I really can't wait to read about the power of language in this book, the language that people read and how it affects their lives. I don't like the spine, it's a very boring spine. That's the only thing I don't like about the book, it just doesn't have a nice spine. But the actual cover's great and it's a book about books, so the content inside is going to be perfect. The next two books are actually identical. They are the Bookshop book by Jen Campbell, and the reason why I have two is because there was a little bit of a disaster. So I got one of these in a giveaway, and this was the giveaway one, and I got this one for Christmas because I'd already asked for it a few weeks beforehand. So I have a signed edition and a non-signed edition that says The Official Book of Books Are My Bag 2014, which I think is a campaign to get people reading, and I can definitely see that a book about books would get people reading. What this is about is it's about bookshops worldwide, and honestly I can't wait to dive into this book. It's probably going to be one of the first ones that I read in 2015 because it just really excites me. Also, Jen Campbell is a booktuber, so hooray for booktubers that publish books. That's such a great thing. Inside there's a little bit of explanation about this. It says every bookshop has a story, and I think it does. We're talking about bookshops in barns, disused factories, converted churches and underground car parks, bookshops on boats, on buses and in old rundown railway stations. So basically bookshops worldwide in a variety of places that you might not necessarily expect. I honestly think this is going to be such an exciting read and such a relatable read for such a bookish person like myself, and I would probably recommend that you all buy this book because you're all bookish, you should all want to read books about books. The next one is one that I received for Christmas and it's again by Jen Campbell. It is Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops. It's basically just a collection of different conversations that people have in bookshops. It sounds hilarious, I can't wait to dive into it. I think it's going to be really entertaining. On the front it says, do you have any books by Jane Eyre? And I can see why people would make that mistake, but it is kind of ironic because Charlotte Bronte is such a famous writer. All the Bronte sisters are famous. People don't actually know that Jane Eyre is not a writer herself. Equally on the back it says, do you have this children's book I've heard about? It's supposed to be very good. It's called Lionel Richie and the Wardrobe. Okay, that person really does not know a lot about Narnia. The next book I got is another book about books. Seriously, I have a lot of these books about books, but they're just fantastic. They're so epic and so relatable. This one is Ajax Penumbra 1969 by Sloan, who is the author of Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. This is basically a prequel to that. Because that book was my favourite one of 2014, I felt like I had to get this book and I had to ask for it. And I'm so glad that I received it because it's going to be so fun. Mr. Penumbra is such a mysterious man working in this bookstore with all of these secrets. I have a feeling that this book is going to give him more character, it's going to characterise him in more depth, we're going to learn more about him, and I think more of the mystery is going to be revealed. The next book I have is The Eyre Affair by Jasper Fforde. Again, another book about books, I just can't stop asking for them. The thing that really attracted me about this book, and the reason why I asked for it, was because it has Jane Eyre references, and apparently Jane Eyre has gone missing. Where have you gone, Jane, and why have you left? I'm guessing that the main character, who is a literary detective, Thursday Next, she will hopefully discover this and find out what's actually happening. It sounds so exciting to have a book that's a fictional book on its own but with other references to other fictional books. I think that's a really cool idea. Jasper Fforde is a very creative writer as well. When I read Shades of Grey earlier this year, it was so unique, completely different, really dynamic, and exactly what I was looking for, so hopefully this one will be as good as that one. The next book is one that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm finally glad to say that I have it. It is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld, and can we just take a minute to appreciate this cover? The black and the white and the blue at the top as well, and the spine. Just so bold, so dynamic, and so perfect. I'm going to love having this on my shelf. It's going to look perfect. I think I keep saying perfect for everything, but you know, books about books are perfect, and this is another book about books, and this one is about someone who's actually writing their own book. They're participating in blog tours, author parties, which sound like so much fun. Can I please read about these author parties right now? Basically, in this book, what's the most unique thing is that we can actually read the book that the girl is writing. We kind of see on the side, it's kind of got like kind of grey pages on some of them. They're the ones that she's writing, and the normal pages are just about her life. I think it's going to be really interesting to have more of an insight into the role of a writer, what writers go through, the different things that they do to promote their books as well. I think it's going to be a really bookish book. It's quite a long book actually, probably one of the longest ones I got for Christmas, but one that I am incredibly looking forward to. Okay, so we're now on to the final book about books, which is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I almost forgot her name then, I'm really sorry, and this is such a shiny book. It's probably shining all over the place right now, but shiny books about books, what could get any better? This is about someone who lives above a really old antique bookstore, which sounds really fun, you know, living above a bookstore, what could get any better? Well, in fact, I guess you could probably live inside the actual bookstore, surrounded by all of the books. That sounds like heaven. You know, please can all bookshops just have this thing where you can rent them out and live in them? All the booktubers could rent them out together or something. Anyway, this book sounds fantastic and really exciting. I've also heard that it's quite a popular TV show, so maybe I will watch that at some point if I like the book. Hopefully I will, because it sounds really epic. So now on to the non-books about books, the ones that are other genres. I do read other things apart from books about books, I promise, and the first one is one that I can't wait for this. I can't wait. It is Hollow City by Ransom. Finally, I have this book. After I finished reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children in November, I asked for this immediately because I need to know what's going to happen next. I've heard this one is even better than the first one, and that's going to be crazy. You know, how good can this series get? Because seriously, the first one was so good. It was so mysterious, it was so beautiful and simple. I loved the way it was characterized, it was so creative. You know, there was a whole new creative dimension in this book. I think what's going to be most exciting about this is the development of the peculiar children. Now I know a little bit about them, I kind of really want to know more. I feel like I'm really into the story, equally following the main character as well. I really want to know more about him. And there's beautiful pictures on the back which are meant to be quite creepy, and there are also some inside as well. I even looked a bit earlier and there are some pictures of the peculiar children, peculiar personae it says in here, which is a very posh way to refer to them, and you know, all of this cool stuff. So I think this is just the most creative book ever, and I can't wait to read it. The next book I have is Wool by Hugh, Howey, which is an adult dystopia. I'm really excited to read an adult dystopia. I read a lot of YA dystopia, and I kind of want to compare. Is this one going to be even more intense, even more unpredictable, even more exciting? I just can't wait to read it, and the idea sounds fantastic. It says on the back about people that have to kind of conform to rules and regulations, but a lot of the characters in this book don't actually conform to them. I love reading about characters that are quite rebellious and don't conform to rules, so I think it's going to be a really fun, exciting read. I can't wait for the characterization and of course the world building as well. World building in dystopian books is always really on point throughout. The thing I don't like about this book is on the front it says it's the next Hunger Games. That infuriates me. Nothing is like the Hunger Games. Okay, it's a dystopia, but it's an adult dystopia. It's not a YA dystopia. The characters are completely different. The ideas are completely different. This is not the Hunger Games. It might be the Hunger Games in terms of popularity, but in terms of the plot, No, it's not the Hunger Games. It doesn't have to say the next Hunger Games on every single dystopian book. They're all very different and they're not the same. Regardless, I can't wait for this book, and I do actually like the rest of the cover. I love the colours, the red and the black. It really is quite vibrant and really stands out. The penultimate book that I received for Christmas is The Darkest Mind by Alexandra Bracken, and this is a very, very hyped up book, particularly in the booktube community. A lot of people have been reading it and reviewing it. A lot of people give it 5 out of 5 stars. I kind of feel like being shocked and surprised. I think that might be quite good for this kind of book, and I know it's a series, so I'm really hoping to enjoy this one so I can read the others, because it just sounds fantastic. There's a lot of positive reviews on the back of this as well about how it's completely riveting, heart-wrenching, all of these amazing positive adjectives. It also says it's a science fiction survival story, so that sounds really fun. I think it's definitely going to be quite unpredictable and hopefully very fast-paced. And the final book I got, everyone, I'm really excited about. It's actually one that gets a lot of positive reviews and it sounds really inventive and really captivating. It is The Archived by Victoria Schwab. Schwab, is that how we say her name? The thing that really struck me about this book and why I asked for it was when I read the blurb, I actually read it online, but it also says it on the back. Imagine a place where the dead rest on shelves like books. Resting on shelves like books, dead bodies? That sounds really, really creepy in a way, actually. We always look at normal bookshelves and admire the beauty of the books, but I don't think we'll be admiring bookshelves where there are dead people on them. It sounds like a really, really intriguing and interesting idea to explore. I can't wait to read it and learn about it in more depth. It's going to be a fantastic sci-fi dystopia read. So everyone, these are all of the books that I got. I'm scared they're going to fall on the floor, but here they are, all the Christmas amazingness and everything that I have to read now, and it really does extend and add to my huge to-be-read pile, and these books are going to fall over, so oh my gosh. So everyone, that is it for my Christmas book haul. I hope it was really interesting. If you read any of these books, please let me know down below. I really hope that you enjoyed them and have a lot of positive things to say, but of course be honest and tell me what you thought of them. I just want to say I'm sorry that I couldn't explain them in a lot of depth. I couldn't really talk about the plots. There are so many books to show. I didn't want the video to be too long, but what I will do is in the description I will link to the Goodreads pages where you'll be able to read people's reviews of them. You'll also be able to read the synopsis as well. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you're all having an amazing Christmas, and again I hope you receive some amazing books. I can't wait to watch everyone else's Christmas book hauls, but until next time, thank you for watching and I will see you all again in my next video.